Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's OTGW, and I'm Mikey.
It's Dan.
And it's Yi.
Hey, it's you again. Welcome back.
I'm
Did you
back.
guys miss her? What did we do to her?
Yeah,
Like,
they
put her
hid
in a
me
magic
the attic.
box.
She's so tall though, she just busted right out of the box.
Well, today we have a topic that you would be really good for because you and I experienced both of this.
Wait, hold on. You guys would be good for based on first-hand experience.
Yes.
However, let me just add this.
What do you bring to the table, my friend?
I'm
Why are you still on this island?
I'm really, even though I don't have your experience, and we'll tell you what this is about in a sec. I've done extensive research on this subject.
Oh, really? Okay.
Really?
And I'm-
Wikipedia doesn't count.
Watching like anime on Asian schools don't really count, buddy.
No, my powers of deductive reasoning and common sense.
Really?
And my passion for the subject.
Power and your passion.
Yeah, I love this subject.
Like a bunch of excuses to me.
They don't know. They don't even know what we're talking about.
So today we're going to talk about schools in Asia, or in China specifically, in the US. I grew up in the US, but I also went to school in China, elementary school. Then I came here for school. Then I went back for school. Then I came back here for school.
So China, America,
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
America. So your experience is much like hers. 'Cause
Yeah,
she can't
I
even
was in
remember.
elementary school in America.
Okay.
Then I went back to China for middle school and part of high school. Then I came back to America for the other part of high school and then college, and I'm still here now.
Okay, so she did 2 trips. You did
But-
3 trips.
But I did go to like kindergarten in China for a while.
Okay, so that's the same. 4 trips. I did 1 trip.
That doesn't count because after that trip you
Hold
stayed
on.
forever.
And my 1 trip was, I was only in China until I was about almost 6, so I only had half a year of school there.
Okay, so that doesn't really
Doesn't
count.
really
you don't,
count.
You don't,
I don't
really
count.
experience anything
Again,
about
my
the school system
my
over there.
expertise will come in later. For now, I'll let you guys talk
So
about.
what I did was this. I stayed until 2nd grade in China. Then I moved here and I studied till I was 13, so basically middle school.
Yeah.
And right away, I misbehaved. And, I tell this story a lot. Like, a lot of times when you misbehave, your parents be like, yo, go to your room.
Right.
I didn't have a room. So they said, go back to China. So I went back for 2 years of, I think, my freshman and sophomore year. And then I came back here.
Right, okay.
And then I attended high school and then college.
So you did your junior and your senior year of high school in America.
Yeah.
Then you did all of the years in college.
Right.
All right. That's kind of like
How many years did you stay in China?
So
For
total
school?
for school, 4.
4 years.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, in China, I went to school for like preschool and kindergarten. Then I went to America, 1st grade, 2nd grade, and
Yeah,
3rd grade, and 4th grade.
primary school.
I went back to China for 5th and 6th grade.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like a transition. It's
Yeah.
like elementary, now you're in middle school.
Yeah, and then middle school, and then 1st and 2nd year of high school.
Wow, so she did
6
1 year.
years.
So,
All right.
and then you just, read something online.
No, wait, yeah.
Earned our badges, okay?
Okay, can I say something?
Oh, you wanna say?
I have friends,
Yeah.
or wait,
friends
just hear
that
me
are
out.
us.
Besides you guys,
Uh-huh.
that are Chinese
Huh?
and that went to school in China up until they were like 15.
Okay.
Then
okay.
came here for 2 years of school.
Okay.
So that counts.
Counts as what?
Uh,
You have friends.
as
Everyone
I
has friends.
exactly,
know.
man.
Wait, and then one more. And then I did a lot of research recently.
On Wikipedia.
As you guys have guessed, probably, there is a lot of differences between the U.S. school systems and that of China. And even like there's differences between when I went to school in China and when you went to school in China.
true.
I'm like way older than you. Over there, it's cutthroat. For example,
Okay.
Saturday school.
Right.
You like to relax on a Saturday here? No, we went to school.
Like actual day of school.
Actual day of school. Saturday we went to school.
But also your normal school day
yes.
is nothing like America.
So on the topic of school hours, so we got Saturday school. And also from Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. we get in, at 12 o'clock we all go home for lunch and nap time. That's what all Chinese schools do.
All right.
And then at 2:30 we come back and we stay until school ends technically at 5:30. Then we have what's called a voluntary self-study session until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, when do you eat dinner?
Voluntary.
When do you eat dinner?
Okay, so 5 6 you get out of school for like, there's like a 30-minute break. And you
Okay.
gotta go back to class or self-study.
What if you don't go? Because it's voluntary.
This is how messed up it was. So this is voluntary, but it's really not. You have to go. And you have to pay for it.
What?
Yeah.
This
we
I
had
did
to
not
pay
heard of.
extra money for it.
Wait, so what if I was there during that time? I would be pretty rebellious. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah, then you get kicked out of school.
Why would I get kicked out? And then I'd be like, it's
What
voluntary.
do you mean? Why would you get kicked out? A lot
voluntary.
of people get kicked out.
But it's
That's
voluntary. I should throw it right back in their face.
No,
It doesn't work that way.
See,
You're
obviously-
American.
Yeah, you didn't
You're
go.
American.
You didn't go to school in China. You
Yeah,
can't
man.
say you're. What if I do? You wouldn't do any of
So
that.
you went to
Yeah.
those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to those.
All right, let me ask
If you didn't go, there'd be multiple consequences. First of all, you get like basically kicked out by your teachers because they'd be like, you're the only person who doesn't come.
Yeah.
Second of all, the amount of like studying you need to do, if you don't do it during that time, you're gonna fail all the tests, and you're not gonna be able
Really?
to turn in your homework the next day, which will result in your getting kicked out of school anyways.
So what about you? Was it like that for you? You're like
Well,
early
this is the
class.
thing. Mike, you went to public school, right?
Yes.
So public school, from what I hear, is even more brutal than private school. So I went to private school, but it was like semi like public too. It was
thing.
the same thing, but because we lived there, we actually got up at 5:20 in the morning. And we got up, and then around 6 o'clock, we head out the door, we eat breakfast, and then same as Mike, by 6:30 or 7, we sit down for our morning study session, and then we I don't know, we study English or something because it's still an international school, but most of them, they had to study English, so that's when we did it, and then we ate breakfast, which was only half an hour, then we came back, and then we study until lunch, which is 12, we get an hour of lunch, and then we come back, we only get 1 hour and no nap time. Well, if you could, we could go back to your dorms and take a nap, but we don't do that. And then we get out, and then we study until 5, and then we have an hour dinner, and then we come back. What's called the it's not voluntary. It's called evening study session. So there's a morning study session and the evening study session that's completely mandatory. And what it is the teacher sits in front. She's doing her work, and then we're all really quiet and just studying.
I find this really fascinating. Okay,
Yeah, because
so
you don't know any of this stuff from your from your research.
So okay, so if it was me and I had enjoyed the schooling in America up until say I was in 6th grade, and then all of a sudden they drop me in an environment where I'm basically, to me, I'm in a prison. I have no social life. I can't do sports. Could you do sports?
Yeah, there's sports.
When
There's
you do it after
gym
school?
class.
No, I'm talking about
there's no sports teams.
Yeah, teams.
There was no sports teams.
Because that's a big part of being in an American school.
At least in my school, there was no sports team.
So how did you feel? You had all this like freedom and you're chilling in America, and then you go back to like school.
Well,
prison.
when in Rome, you adapt. But also,
you adapted?
You know who was in sports teams?
Who?
There were actually public schools that were called athletic schools.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I would have went there, dude.
No, you wouldn't
wouldn't have.
have.
Why I wouldn't have
Because
right
on
with there?
top of everything I did, you had to practice.
But I would it would cut into my studying time.
And it's additional to your studying time.
Come on, dude.
By the way, it's not what you think. Like, it's not glamorous. It's almost like military camp because it's worse than a normal school.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like, they treat you like you're like an athlete in training, so you get the worst of everything, basically.
Because the point of that is for you to eventually become like an Olympian.
Yes.
That's the point of those schools.
So that China.
So all my friends from those schools, they all got the same haircuts. The girls cannot have long hair. They have to cut their hairs there. All the guys have buzz cuts.
Yes.
That's what they did.
Right.
They literally, I have friends who came from a volleyball athletic school. And these guys, I went to one of their practice sessions. They were literally like diving in dirt. I was just like, this is insane.
So like, were you guys like, I hate my life right now because I went right? Did you go
Well,
through
I
that?
adapted. In the U.S., right, you have assignments that account for 40% of your grade. Quizzes, projects that account for 40% of your grade. That doesn't happen in China, at least when I went.
Okay.
There is only one thing you need to be concerned with, and that is the final exam.
Really?
Midterm and final.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing.
Except for these tests.
Yes.
But you have homework?
Doesn't matter.
So I
They
cannot
don't-
do my homework?
Yeah, no, you don't have to do your homework. You'd be like the
If-
black sheep of the class.
Yeah.
So
If-
you're telling me as long as I pass the last test,
No,
I could
You'll get
slack
kicked
off.
out. You'll get kicked out.
Yeah.
I'll pass the last test.
No, you
matter.
won't get a
You won't
chance
get a chance to
to
take
take
it.
the last test.
The teacher will kick you out of
Yeah,
class.
they will, and they can, and they will beat you if they need to.
Really?
They will beat you.
Yeah.
So the last test, okay, this is all that matters. And if you get above, in my school, if you got above a 60% like passing, like 及格 in China,
yeah.
that's good.
Well, first of all, what subject are you talking about?
All subjects. Okay, we had classes. For one, we had this class called 政治课.
What is that?
Politics.
Politics?
Right.
Okay.
You know what that whole class final exam was?
What's that?
We had a book about this thick.
Yeah.
You memorized a book.
Shut up.
You memorized.
What do you mean, like word for word?
Word for word.
Why? Because you got to write it?
You have to write down sentences. You
Shush.
cannot miss a single
Shush.
letter.
Shush.
Yeah,
Sentence.
yeah, I remember
Shush.
doing that too.
Shush.
Yeah. But not for that class.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So to me, one of the major differences is that in China they think that achievement is measured by testing results.
Yes.
And just really stuff that doesn't matter, like memorize this line word for word.
Yeah.
But in America, yes, they do have that, but a lot of times they don't. The classes are so easy. Like it's like a Chinese. I always hear from Chinese kids who had schooling in China, when they come back to America, they're like, this is like nothing. So easy, because the point isn't for you to memorize a book. The point is for you to build the basics so that you can go into college and then become.
Well, here's the thing, right? From what I hear, and this is because neither of us went to college in China. For me, I felt like it was easier to go to school in America, but then to get into, well, it's hard to get into college either places, but much harder in China.
Right.
But once you get in, you kind of like can relax a little bit. But in America, I find that college is challenging in itself.
I would agree.
You know
with
what I'm
that.
saying?
All right, guys, we're gonna cut this video into 2 parts because we really kind of found so many things we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll continue our discussion next time. See you later.
Yes.